Hello, 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 everyone out there. I am Crash Test Goat, and I have appeared before you on all of your device screens to come and spend some time with you and hang out and talk about some stuff. Yes, stuff. Y'all know what we're going to talk about. It says it in the title of the live stream. We actually are doing a live stream with a very specific topic tonight. Usually it's just random stuff. Anything you guys want to talk about, it's game. Fair game. Anything you want to discuss, anything you want to bring up, ask questions, talk about. That's usually what we do on the other channel, which is Crash Test Goat 2. It's the live stream channel, basically. This channel, I very rarely do live streams on. Just like to keep them separate. I don't know. It just seems like it was the way I wanted to do it for some reason. I don't know why. I was thinking the live streams might be hurting the channel a little bit, so I decided to separate the two. So that's the reason for that. Not to make it difficult for anybody, but I have taken the past week off. Tomorrow was supposed to be the return back with the live streams, but I released a video earlier today showing where I had an encounter with a police officer, and it was random, and it just came out of nowhere, to the best of my knowledge, and we're going to talk about that a little bit. And the reason why I'm coming on a day early tonight instead of tomorrow night is because there was so many comments on that video just in the short time that it's been up. It was launched at 10 a.m. this morning. It is now a little bit after 9 p.m. at night, and that video has gotten quite a few views. It's not viral by any means, but it has been performing better than most of my other videos. And that stands to reason because this is a very interesting, thing to have occur. It's something that really never happens. So this is something very out of the ordinary. And I can understand and appreciate where everybody's coming from in the comment section. I fully do appreciate that. But that's the preface of what we're going to do over the next however long we're on here together. I don't have a time limit or anything like that. Usually we run for 2 hours on a live stream, but who knows? It might be shorter, it might be longer. So anyway, I'm glad that you've all decided to take some time and spend it with me, and so we can discuss this. So I see all of the usual people here and some other people. So what shall we start off with first? I see Seth. I see Dusty Steel Garage, Red Rooster, Slow R6. What's going on, man? You got home in the rain. Yeah, it started raining tonight. Harrow Rider. What's going on? Task Force. We're going to discuss that. Dusty Steel Garage, I've already said your name. Knick-Knack, what's going on? You will remain silent mostly, but wonder if Houston has started a task force. That cop could be a hint. Well, they already have task force, like for special cases and things like that. That's nothing new. But we'll get into that. Two-Wheeled Waldo, what's going on, my man? Miki, what's up? This is a random video. They have code hostage. Yeah. No, I'm not in an orange jumpsuit. Thank God for that. I have seen those videos, and they're not nice. They're not nice. Luke Hunt, what's going on, man? How are you? Easy Clipped. Hello, friends, he says. What's up, man? Am I missing anybody? Christopher Honeycutt. Wow, what a cool name. Lion Strategic. Greetings. OG Goat Fan. What's going on, my man? I am Griff. What's up, Griff? Z question. What's up? Zardinas is here too, man. I haven't seen you in a while. Okay, I've scrolled up. Harold Router says the main thing I'm confused about is you said they came to your house after your 610 loop video already. That's correct. Not exactly my house. They didn't pull up at my house, but they could see my house from where they were parked. So, and then when I pulled out and drove by them, they pulled out behind me, and then I knew that they were coming after me, so I went ahead and pulled in and stopped before they even turned the lights on. That was over the 610 loop video, and that was like 2 or 3 years ago now, so that's been a long time. However, That's kind of an important thing because you guys have always some of y'all have wondered, why am I wearing this mask? It's like I told you I'm wearing the mask because I'm too handsome for the camera. That's really the legitimate reason, right? That's what we're going with anyway, until I do decide to take off the mask. Then y'all can judge for yourselves. But they already know who I am. Okay? This is vital. Now, that doesn't mean that this isn't something. I mean, it could certainly be something, but they wouldn't have to do this because they've already come to my house. They've already spoken to me. And I've already discussed it numerous times in the live streams. So if they were watching and everything, oh yeah, it's confirmed. Yeah, we definitely, they know it's me. That's what they do. They don't need to stop and talk to me to confirm that my identity or where I live or anything like that. Y'all have to understand that the police and all of that, they have unlimited resources with unlimited funding, and they have unlimited ability. They solve murders and stuff like that, folks, and very serious crimes, where people are really doing some bad stuff, and they catch them. They figure out who those people are, and they have a number of methods to do that. It's not hard to figure out who I am. I'm not really hiding my identity. I don't want my face out there for more than one reason. If it adds a layer of protection to me on a number of levels, then that's why I do it, okay? The other thing is why I wear this mask is because this channel really was never supposed to be about me, the person. Much unlike a lot of other YouTube channels where they make it about themselves, right? And that's fine if that's what people want to do. It's just never been my style, so I never even was going to speak in my videos or anything like that. Then it kind of just morphed and evolved into what it is now, where I'm actually in front of a camera talking to you guys. But this is like my security blanket, so to speak, right? I don't have to worry about being recognized when I go out. But people do recognize me whenever I go out, like around here locally. It's not like I hide my face wherever I go. So it's not that big of a deal, okay? It's really not. If the cops want to come and arrest me, they can do it right now. They could. They absolutely could. And that would just be so easy for them. They don't have to send a dude out, to act like they're my friend. They don't have to do that. Could they do that? Might this be that? I'm not saying that it's not impossible. That's definitely a possibility. But it's not necessary for them to do that because they've already been to my house, right? They already know who I am. They already have my name. And when they came out and talked to me the first time, they were super cool. They were super cool to me. They were very respectful and kind and just chill. They were just freaking chill. And then they just talked to me like a normal person, okay? And I liked those two guys that I spoke to the first time. And one of them was a ZX-10 rider. Okay, so these guys ride bikes too. They are normal people. Whenever I guess their uniforms. I know some people don't agree with that. Once they're a cop, they're always a cop, no matter where they are, no matter what time of day it is. I fully get that. You can't turn it off, and they're always kind of, in a way, on duty. I fully get that. Even whenever, like, say they're out at a restaurant with their family eating, and then if something happens, then they're going to do something about it, like as if they were on duty. That doesn't escape me, but what I'm getting at is they're human beings, right? And they're also men too. I mean, there's women cops, but I haven't spoken to any of those. So I'm referring mainly to males, right? These guys are alphas. They are not freaking betas like a lot of people say. These cops are alphas. They're very brave. They're very courageous. They deal with a bunch of shit that I would never want to deal with in my life. They deal with the worst of society on a regular basis, and nobody likes them. Nobody trusts them. Nobody wants to talk to them or say too much. And I understand all those things. Now, may I be hurting myself by trusting them or whatever? I mean, I'm not saying I trusted him or anything like that, but I don't even know the guy. This is the first time I met him. And then the other two guys, it was the first time I met them. But it's like whenever you give something to somebody, it's kind of like what they're gonna get in return. It's just like normal human interaction. Was it very unusual for a cop to just roll up on me and basically roll down the window and wave at me, as they're pulling up? Yeah, it was. And I was just thinking, oh shit, here we go, like, but I didn't freak out. I wasn't shitting a brick or anything like that. I'm old enough and mature enough to understand, hey, look, if they're in control whenever they roll up on you, or they want to talk to you about something, and the best thing to do is just to be nice, comply, and just relax. Even if they say get off the bike or put your hands behind your back or whatever, if that's what they want to do, then I would just comply and do it, and then just go through whatever motions there are. It's not going to be the end of the world. They're not going to beat me up. They're not going to end my life in any way. They're not going to tase me or throw me to the ground or anything like that. As long as I'm chill, everything will be fine. Even if they were to arrest me or whatever, which they had no reason to do. And I knew that. I was just sitting there. And then some people, or a couple of people said, they were getting calls, or you were running hot and then you pulled in and then somebody called in or something like that. No, that's not true. I wasn't doing anything. I hadn't even done anything. I haven't even been on the highway. You know what I mean? I was just pulling in to get gas, before I went to work. Basically, that's all it is. And then I watched the video from behind, and I even went back into the video further than what I showed you guys. And I looked in the rear view camera to see if they were staked out anywhere, like to watch me leave where I was coming from or whatever. And there was nothing there. There was nobody there. They just randomly rolled up. And they were just sitting at the light, and then he just happened to stop where he could like look over and see the bike. And as they were rolling up, that bright red tail sticks out, the big wheel and all that stuff. And it's easy to see the bike. And that bright red, it sticks out, it stands out more than anything. That Ducati red stands out like, it's like the perfect red. It's like a perfect fire engine red, the most beautiful, perfect, classic red color that you can imagine. That's what color it is. And when it's sitting in the sunlight, it's that perfect red, and it just stands out like crazy. So he saw it, and then he just rolled around, and I had already started the bike, and I was getting ready to put it into gear, and then they just roll right up on me, and he's just smiling and waving. And he just walks right up and just boom, put her there, just shakes my hand. I went, hey man, what's going on? And we just got along really well. But whenever I was sitting there, I was thinking, like, of course, like, this is so unusual. Like, why is this happening? Like, what's really happening here? But I just remained calm. And like I said, I'm not going to panic or anything like that. And if they wanted to arrest me right there, okay, it's not the end of the world. All right. In fact, I've been thinking about this quite a bit today, and it would probably in some way help me if this happened. Say they arrest me and they put my mugshot out there like they've done to the other guys. In the age of social media, that all that is going to do is it's going to make it's going to give recognition to this freaking channel. It's going to empower the channel more than anything than I could probably do myself. So, I mean, if you look at it in those terms, would it cost me some money? Would it be an inconvenience? My face, okay, and now my face would be out there. Then I don't have to wear this anymore. You know what I mean? I don't have to wear it right now. I could take it off right now. It's not that big of a deal. But, and I've been wanting to get to the point where I can do that, actually. And then I've always wanted to start changing the content anyway. I wanted the content to go to the next level. And one of the things I've realized is doing the high-speed stuff, YouTube restricts my channel because of it. They know that the AI detectors are so smart, the AI scanners that scan the videos that I put out and other people like me, they restrict my channel. Okay? I don't get a lot of views. I'm not trying to be any type of way or anything, but I was already big on YouTube with my other channel. I had already hit escape velocity with my other channel. I deleted it, and then I started over, but I was restricted for 3 years. I was shadow banned for 3 years. I should already have a couple 300,000 subscribers by now if I wouldn't have deleted my first channel. Okay. But, and even with restarting it, I should have, if I wasn't shadow banned for 3 years, I would already be back beyond where I was. But I can't get any traction. I can't grow. I can't hit escape velocity on YouTube. It's not because people don't know who I am. It's not because people don't know my content. It's not because of my lack of writing ability or my videos suck or they're not edited right. It's none of that. It's because YouTube is pinning me to the frickin' ground. And why are they doing that? Because of the way I write. That's what it is. And I've been wanting to find a way to change the content and get out of that anyway. Now, I love to rip. There's no doubt about it. And will that ever go away? Will that ever change? No matter what happens, probably not. You know, but will the content morph and evolve and change into and grow into something else? I hope that to be the case. That's really what I want. But if they have some kind of like task force, something, they already know my name. They already know who I am. I've been trying to say this for years. If they wanted to come and get me, they could certainly do it. So, Alfie, what's up, Alfie? How are you? Cop wanted to be that guy. Well, there's the aftermarket pipe and then some other BS things, I'm sure. He wasn't. Golden Gate, what's going on? How are you? Edmund, what's up, Edmund? Never trust them. I know. Valentine, what's going on, man? Definitely appreciate your channel. Well, thank you so much, my man. Major, what's up, Major? They definitely seen you zooming before. That's why they did that. No, they wasn't. I mean, I wasn't, and they didn't. Okay? Look at me. Look at my face. You can't see my face, but if you could, it would be right here. Look, I'm looking you in the eye, all of you. Okay? I was not zooming before they came up on me. I wasn't even out, okay? I had just left where I was. It was a random encounter. They were not stalking me unless they just timed it perfectly, and I leave at a kind of the same time every day, but it's always slightly different. You know, it's like the chances of it being a planned meeting without them being able to see me leave where I was, it was just. And you know what else? They would have pulled in if they knew I was there at the gas station, they would have pulled in the other way instead of going around and waiting at the light. They waited at the light. I saw them on the camera. I showed it in the video. They waited at the light. And you can see him. He's got his window down. It's a nice day. It's not hot or anything. He's just got his window down. He's got his arm hanging out. He's riding in the passenger seat. And he just looks over and he sees it. And he's probably like, hey, let's go over there. That's what it seems like to me. And let me show you something. I'm gonna show you something, right? Now I could be totally wrong, and they could be after me. They could be. Okay, I'm not saying that it's not impossible, but I want you to look at something here. Now you might see it differently than me, but I'm going to show you something right here. Okay, can you? Yeah, you can still hear me. Okay. Look at this guy right here. Do you think that that's a fake smile? I just randomly stopped. I just randomly stopped this video on here. I was just scanning through it a second ago. And does that look like a fake smile to you? That's not. Okay, that's a real legitimate smile. Okay, he is not. I don't get the vibe that he's up to anything. I just don't. Now, at the time, I was like, oh, this is kind of unusual, but it was a cool interaction. I appreciated it for what it was. And I've had some time to think about it. And then when I go back and I look at the video, look at his face. He is genuinely smiling. He seems like a chill, nice guy to me. All right? Just take him out of the uniform. And he could have been anybody else walking up and talking to me about the bike. And, you know, some of you guys commented like, oh, those are all like unusual questions. I get it. If they're coming from a cop, then yeah, they can kind of be like information gathering questions. But all of those questions, all of those same questions have been asked of me by random, just civilian people whenever I've encountered people over the years. Every single one of those questions. Okay, one of the other questions was like, how long have you had the bike? Right? A lot of people have asked me that, like because they're looking at it, it's in perfect condition, and they say, "How long you had it?" Just or that's just the basic, interesting conversation that keep the conversation going question. And then he's like, "So how long have you had it?" And I said, 4 years. And he goes, "Man, it's like, do you keep it in the garage?" Meaning, not like, where is it? He's saying, is that why it looks so good after 4 years? That's what he was asking. It's so easy to, if you, but because he's in the uniform, you're going to think that it's some kind of other ulterior motive, right? Because he did. Now, let's examine that for a second. Why would that help him in any way in some investigation against me? Oh, okay. He keeps it in a garage. Okay. Most people do. Unless you live in an apartment, and that sucks to have a motorcycle. If you live in an apartment, you got to you got to chain it to the freaking carport or something. And then it gets all rusty, and the bolts all rust and the chain rust. Everything just deteriorates when you keep it outside. So one of the reasons why my bike looks so amazing, like it's brand new. One, because I just put new fairings on it, but it still looked good regardless, even without that. So that question is just a normal question. When you look at, if y'all were up close to my bike and you looked at it, and I just said it's 4 years old, and you looked at it, you'd be like, holy shit, like, how do you keep it so nice? It really looks that good. It looks like a brand new bike. So it's a normal question. Skater, what's going on, man? Face reveal? Slower sixes. I would have been like, I just got it back I just got it last week. Seth says they do it to let you know they warned you and you didn't listen. Maybe. I don't know. Alfie says new channel idea is Grom Life. Yeah. Eric Almighty. Shout out to the goat. What's up, man? How are you? Thanks for the shout out. I appreciate you, man. Beanzo. What's up, Beanzo? Definitely appreciate you. Okay. All right. I need to scroll down. I'm just reading through some of your comments right now because I want to respond to what you guys say. Darian Ballard, what's going on, man? How are you? You need to go to bed now? Okay, bro. All right, thanks for popping in. So, could this be like some scheme to figure out who I am and all that? The other thing is, some people said, "Oh, he's got your face on body cam and this and that." Okay, and I'm going to show you something. Okay, number one, do you see this? Do you see this right here? This helmet stock right here? This is the helmet stock I wear underneath my helmet. So the only thing you would see, now I don't wear my glasses when I ride, so the only thing you would see would be my eyes. Now you can get a lot from just that, like, someone's eye structure, the color of their eyes, whatever, right? The shape of their eyes. You can get a little bit from that, but I had my tinted visor up so he could see my eyes whenever he was. I do that out of a courtesy. So he doesn't, from human to human, that's very important, right? Because one, I wouldn't want anybody to feel uncomfortable around me, especially a police officer. I don't want him to feel uncomfortable around me. So I raised up my shield so he could see my eyes. I did it on purpose. I could have left it down. I did not do that. I raised it up so that he would feel comfortable with me, right? And I'm not trying to hide really who I am, but for those of you who are wondering, I had this helmet stock on, and I always wear it above the nose and everything, and right where my eyebrows are. So this right here is all you see. Okay? Could he have, told me to get off, take your helmet off, and do all that? Yeah, he could have if it was a traffic stop. It was not. So, and people are saying, Well, he walked around the bike to look and get your plate number. I don't think he could see my plate number because he never crouched down. He never lowered his head. He kind of just looked around the back of the bike, to just try to look at the tail, and then he looked at the exhaust, but he never crouched down back behind the bike. And I do have a plate on the bike, but it's so flat. It's almost completely parallel to the ground. He would have had to lower himself in order to see it. Now, when I left, now that possibly might have been a time whenever he could maybe see it, okay? And he certainly would have had the ability to do it, because if you're within 25 feet or so and you're standing behind the bike, you may be able to read it, but I pulled off fairly quickly, so I don't know. That could be a question, but I don't know if he was trying to do that or not. He didn't even flinch with the fact that the plate was like angled so far down. He didn't even seem interested in that to me at all. But could I be wrong? Sure, I could be wrong about that. But y'all will say, well, he was wearing his body cam, and all they have to do is just go back and look at the body cam, But let me show you guys something, okay? Let me show y'all something right here. Okay, look very carefully. Okay, what's this? I take it this is the body cam right here, right? Or is this it? No, this right here is his comms mic, right? This is the handheld comms mic where he can pinch it and then talk to dispatch or whatever, right? So this right here is the body cam, right? And look, you can see the lens right there. I have reviewed this tape and I have looked at this, and normally there would be a red flashing light somewhere on this, right? I assume, now I'm not a body cam expert. This is the first time I've really looked at one of these, but what I do know is that whenever a camera is recording, it needs to let the operator know that it actually is in recording mode. So it'll always put off some kind of a red flashing light or some kind of a blinking light to let you know it is actually recording, in recording mode and functioning. Now, I'm going to pan through this very slowly. I do not see, even on the top, I do not see there's like some kind of screen, like an LCD screen or something right here. I do not see any blinking lights. Right? That body cam has no flashing light on it. Do you see? No flashing light. That's quite a bit of seconds right there, and I don't see any indication that that's recording. Could I be wrong? I'm not a body cam expert. Okay, I don't know anything about this body cam except for I know how cameras work, and they typically want to. And I've watched videos where people have had interactions with cops, and they say, "Is that recording? I hope it's recording." He goes, "Yeah, it's recording. See, it's blinking right here," and then you can see it blinking. So there's no blink on this body cam right here, right? So that's another thing right there, right? Now, does he need that in order to remember my license plate as I'm driving away? No, he doesn't. And if he could have got a shot of it, seen like a view of it with his eyes, then maybe he could read it. Do I think he did that? I have no way of knowing, but I really don't think so. Okay. So it just was a random encounter. It was highly unusual, and it just was a nice, decent conversation, and he was super cool. And then when I said, "Hey, I'm on my way to work," he goes, "Oh man, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to keep you or anything." I said, "No, man, you're good." And then we shook hands, and it was super cool. I don't dislike cops, folks. I don't dislike them at all. Have I had interactions with them that were not always pleasant? Sure, but that was usually my fault. All right. And honestly, can you truly blame these guys for kind of being a little bit, not always like the chillest whenever like they're dealing with the public on a regular basis? Like that would change you. I don't really think it doesn't. I don't really think it matters who it is. I think anybody who's exposed to the things that they're exposed to on a regular basis, seeing all the bad things and dealing with all the bad people and this and that, I think over time it would just kind of like change you to some degree to where you're just kind of like, I don't want to say cold or emotionless or anything like that, but just to where you're just used to dealing with so much shit. It just has that effect on you, and to see somebody, and now here's the problem. Now I could be totally wrong. I could be like, they could be like planning to come to my house at any time, right? They could certainly be doing that, and it could have been maybe because of this. Who knows? But maybe this was just like one of those moments that were, it was just positive, and what's sad is that something like this can happen, and it can create good vibes and a goodwill and good intentions and just person to person conversation, and then it can't be just that. It can't be just like a positive good interaction that creates a positive effect. It always has to be something dark and negative and up to something, maybe. But I've been on this. I'm not saying I know everything. I'm not saying I'm a perfect judge of character or anything like that. But I think of myself as a good person. I mean, I'm an honest person. I don't screw people over. I don't go out of my way to sabotage people to help myself. I don't commit like I don't go out and steal from people or try to fraud or anything. I'm a Christian man who believes in treat people how you want to be treated. I really believe that. I believe in the karma that comes from that. And other than going out and maybe going a little fast on the highways, I'm a basic, down-to-earth, normal person that has a family. I've got a kid. I have a house. I have a job. I've got a wife. I've got a mom, and family. I just went to the beach and spent time with my family today. Had a lovely day. I'm just a basic, normal person who I'm glad cops are out there. Without them, this place would be a nightmare. This society that we have right now absolutely needs police, and what we want are ones that can manage to be cool through it all, and here comes a guy that just seems super cool to me, and I want to believe that. Now, am I naive? Am I stupid? Am I setting myself up, or something? Maybe. If it is, it is. If that's what happens, that's what happens. It's not going to be the end of the world for me. Okay? I ain't that worried about it. Now, do I want it necessarily to have any negative interactions with the police or anything like that? No, absolutely not. But maybe in a way, it might be good. It might be a good thing. There's always an upside to everything. And it just depends on how whatever hand you're dealt, you got to just play it cool with whatever you're dealt, right? Now, we do certain things that kind of create the hand that we're dealt, right? So if you go out there and do high-speed runs on a super bike around the city, some people might frown upon that, and it might invite something like this to take place, or something, like where they try to come and get you or whatever, I mean, it's just, I don't know. It's just one of those things where some people would say, well, you're inviting it, well, maybe, but that's not really where my mind is or where my heart is. And I mean no harm to anybody or disrespect to anybody like that. I'm like a puppy dog, basically. I'm just a basic puppy that likes to run around and play once in a while. That's all it is. But completely innocent mindset. I have no ill will toward anyone, especially law enforcement or the police. Now, well, that's disrespectful when you pass them, goat. Some people might think that or get the impression, but in my heart, it's not that. It's just that I just want to be on my way. I mean, hey guys, what's going on? Have a nice day. It's just like that. That's all it is. It's nothing more. Now, well, you're not supposed to do that, and I get it, but and who knows where that will lead at some point. Maybe nowhere, maybe somewhere. You just never know. But whatever I face in life, whatever comes my way through my own actions or just through circumstance, it is what it is. And I will just deal with the hand that I'm dealt the best way that I can. And if they come and arrest me or whatever, I'll make videos out of it. Okay. And then we'll just go from there. And then y'all will see how handsome I am. You know what I mean? I'm kind of looking forward to it. See, because I can't bring myself to take off the mask on my own. But if they come, and make me take it off and take my picture and put it out all over the place, that's a different story, right? And, I might have like modeling agencies and stuff like that reaching out to me once they see my mugshot. It'll be the most glorious mugshot you've ever seen if that takes place. And believe me, it's only going to help me, right? So, but do I want that? No, not necessarily. I can't sit here and like bullshit you guys and say, God, I hope it happens. No, I hope that doesn't happen. I really hope that doesn't happen. I'd rather just kind of like fly somewhat under the radar the way that we are, with good intent, with spreading goodwill and cheer to all the land. Kind of like a mascot of the city, right? They should give me the key to the city. That's what they should do. They should give me the key to the city. I won't hold my breath, though. I won't. Slower Six says, I've been watching old goat videos and live streams on your off day. Well, dude, you're my biggest fan, bro. And you know what, Slower Six? I am your biggest fan, sir. Jay Pluto, what's going on, man? How are you? Yeah, it's been a long time, yeah. I don't normally do live streams on this channel, but I figured it would be appropriate. Now, keep in mind, YouTube is restricting this channel. Now, I've had some videos, that have done very well, but I haven't had any that have really hit escape velocity in a while, in months. The last video that really went viral was high-speed superbikes blast past cops with ease, right? And I've got that picture of like 8 of us like banked over, and then I photoshopped a freaking cop car right there in the turn with the guy with his hand out. That cop car wasn't there. That some people, okay, it's clickbait, but not really. It's just kind of an altered image, and it doesn't exist in the video. But hey, for some reason that video got picked up by the algorithm and just went wild. That's not the only video I've had do well. I had some of the reaction videos and stuff like that did well. And when those videos took off was when I deleted all my videos from my channel, which shows me that all my riding videos are what's causing the channel. It's not the channel itself necessarily. It's the compiled number of riding videos that show all this stuff that I mean, this is my working theory anyway, after having seen it, how it's played out. Right. So, and that kind of wants me to, makes me want to like evolve the content in some way, but I've been kind of lazy, right? Because if I evolve the content, it means I'm going to have to change my routine. I'm going to have to change what I do. And right now, I mean, why does this channel exist? Why does this channel exist? It exists because I like to ride. And that's what this has always been about. It has not been about lifestyle and meets and you know, doing all this shit. It has never been about that. And a lot of YouTube content in the motorcycle side of YouTube are all about mods on the bike and going, you know, and all these meets and hey, what's up and this and that. And I'm not really that dude. I'm really not that dude. What I am is a person who loves to spend time riding the bike. And that's why my videos are riding videos. And I don't talk your ear off whenever these videos are being produced. Whenever I'm out riding, I'll say some stuff here and there, but I'm not just sitting there, blah, 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 you know, just, blah, 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 just like nonstop. I'm not that guy. Okay. Now, when I'm sitting in here talking to you guys in the live stream, I'm not riding. I'm just sitting here, just hanging out with you guys. So I'm free to just kind of like just stream of consciousness and just flow. But typically, I don't talk this much in my life. The only time I ever speak this much is here with you guys. That's kind of what you have to do in a live stream like this. Otherwise, you just got dead air. You can't have that. You got to keep talking. Otherwise, you know, people think there's something wrong with the stream or something. Oh, the audio cut out. You know what I mean? I still see them. See, here, I'll show you right now. Watch. I'm going to go silent for 5 seconds. See how weird that was? It's like, I should at least get a cricket soundtrack to like playing in the background at all times. That's why I play the music, actually. Maybe you still heard the music anyway. I have it turned down in my headset. So anyway, Holmes, what's up, Holmes? What's going on, dude? So Jay Pluto got a new bike. I haven't been going through chat that much. Yeah, Seth, he says, it's unusual because most cops don't interact in a positive way with motorcyclists. I've had more than one positive interaction with cops about motorcycles. Okay. There was this one. There was the other two that came to visit me. That could have been not so positive, you know, but it was very positive. It was totally chill. Was it unusual and a little bit, you know, like, what is this? Like, what's going to happen to me? Yeah, of course. Because usually when the cops are standing face to face and they're asking you stuff and talking to you, that means you're probably not enjoying it. All right. That's always the case. Otherwise, why would they be talking to you? Right? It's because you did something or they suspect you of doing something. But once in a while, it's just, hey, man, what's going on? You know, and that's what this was. Could I be wrong? Sure, there's always that chance. And maybe I am wrong. I'm not going to sit here and say I know everything or I know 100%, but he just seemed like a super cool dude to me, you know? Did he ask, the other question was that a lot of people seem to think is unbelievable was, I've never seen one in person, like a Ducati, right? Well, there are not that many of them running around. It's usually some Japanese bike of some kind, right? Now, whenever I go to bike meets and ride around and go with some of the guys, yeah, some of them have Ducatis, right? So that's kind of normal for us in the bike scene to see them. But if you've got somebody who lives a family life and doesn't go out, he's not part of the bike scene or whatever, even though he's got a motorcycle, he's not part of going to the meets and all that stuff. How are you going to see a Ducati out on the street? You know, they're so rare. They're absolutely. Before I got mine, I remember I was at work, right? And I was looking out the back door. And off into the distance, probably about at least over an eighth of a mile away, I could hear a Ducati. I could hear a motorcycle, and I looked over, and it was the bright red. It was a Panigale. It was a V4, and I could tell from a distance. And that red just stood out like so much. And I remember just going, that hits different. When I see that bike, even from that far away, this is long before I had one. And I remember that to this day. This was years ago. This was probably 4 years ago. More than four. It has to be more than 4 years ago because I've had the Ducati for 4 years. So this had to be like 5 or 6 years ago. And that thing, the way it sounded, the way it looked, even from that far away, it was a beautiful sunny day, and it just stood out like crazy. And I have not forgotten that. How special it looked compared to all the other motorcycles that I see out and about. It sounded flawless, and it looked absolutely flawless. Now you can't tell how perfect, but you can just tell the way it was gleaming. It was absolutely flawless. The bikes, but that was the only time that I had ever seen one out. I had not seen one anywhere else. And I'm always looking at bikes, like anytime I see a bike, I'm always looking at it because I love them. So is that an impossibility that he had seen one before somewhere, maybe at a dealership or something like that, but maybe never out on the street? They're very rare, and does that don't help you, Goat, because you're out ripping the streets on one of them. And then you turn it back red again after it was black. You were much better off keeping it black, because then nobody even really knows what it is, because nobody expects a Ducati to be black. No, I fully understand all of this. But I wanted it to be back the way it was. I wanted it to be fancy again. The black's not fancy. It's not. It's stealthy, and it's kind of sinister looking, and it's special in its own way. But it doesn't pop. It doesn't frickin' stand out. These Ducatis are really meant to be red the way that they come. When I put my bike back red, it just felt different to me when I'm riding it. It felt like a whole refresh. It was just what I've been trying to do is trying to get to the point where, and I have been doing this. I used to just blast everywhere, like through all the cars and just blasting all that. I slow down quite a bit through the cars. And then whenever I leave a group of cars and I've got some open highway, I'll open her up a little bit up until I get to the next group of cars, and I slow back down again. So I've toned it down quite a bit. And there's a couple of reasons for that. One is because I'm not trying to be like getting a lot of attention, more so than already I'm getting. Just by being on the bike, bright red and all that, already moving faster than traffic. That's already an attention getter. But by slowing down a little bit, it helps. So that's what I've been doing. And then the other reason is it's safer. Of course it's safer. And, and the third reason is I can blast anytime I want. You want to be somewhat disciplined, and it makes the tires last longer if you slow down a little bit. There's a number of reasons for it. Each one of those is in order of importance, right? I don't want to get like a chopper put on me or anything like that. That's number one. I'm not worried about any ground units. There ain't a freaking ground unit created that can keep up with the bike if that's what I wanted to do, right? So I'm not really worried about that. It's air support. I don't want to get air support called on me, right? I've already been there, and it's not pleasant. Was I able to handle it? Sure, I was able to handle it, but you never know for sure. That's a complicated situation to find yourself in. So I tone it down quite a bit, and then I keep my eyes peeled on the sky. And in the latest video, there is a helicopter in the video that I point out right after talking to this officer. That helicopter just happened to be there. It was random. Okay. It was not after me. I wasn't sure if it was following me after that encounter, so I kept my eye on it, and it faded off into the distance. Okay. And then I just chilled, kept it slow just in case they were kind of like off in the distance trying to make it seem like they went away. But they just took off. They were not there. So that had nothing, absolutely nothing to do with the encounter with the police officer. Had nothing to do with it. It was not related in any way. I make videos, right? And what do people want to see? They want to see interesting things, right? Why else would you watch the video? If it's not interesting, why watch it? So what I do is I'll put whatever's in there that is real. It's real. There's nothing illegitimate about it. It's all 100% real. There's nothing like clickbaity or anything about my videos, is what I'm trying to say. There's no fraud, there's no trickery, there's none of that. But if I see a helicopter and I'm paying attention to it, then I want you guys to feel that in the video. I want you to understand what it's like to be there. Okay? And that's what I'm trying to do. That's what I don't motovlog. I'm not a motovlogger. That's other people. And there's nothing wrong with that. That's just not me. I'm not a motovlogger. It's more like a first-person POV riding experience, right? That's kind of like on a high-speed superbike. That's kind of like what I do, demonstrating riding technique and problem avoidance, right? That's riding style, right? A way of riding that is a way of life on a superbike in the real world. That's what this channel is. So whenever I see a helicopter, right after I talk to a cop, and then it kind of looks like it's low and it just so happens to be right where I am, I'm going to pay attention to that. Why? Because I don't want it to take an interest in me, right? The best way to lose a chopper is to never get it on you in the first place. That is a philosophy, right? It's just common sense. The best way to lose a chopper is to never get his attention in the first place. So, and I was just chilling like a billet, right? And then I got rained on. But you know what the funny thing is by the time I got where I was going, I wasn't even wet. And now that was a pretty heavy downpour with those giant raindrops that you feel when they hit you like little freaking asteroids. And you can hear it plink, 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 plink. It's just water droplets. But I wasn't even wet when I got where I was going. So anyway, where else are we at? And Antonio Davila, what's up? Watched your video earlier, man. That was fishing, man. Nah, it really wasn't. Z says he asked you out to a movie, go, then well, you might have another situation on your hands. Oh no. No. Wasn't even like that. He was just a cool, chill dude. Lucas says current version is outstanding. What version of what? Motion driven. What's going on, man? No, please. Pitbull air cooled. What's up, my man? Cop asked you if you had a YouTube channel. Nope. Look, let me talk about that for a second, okay? So he goes, you know why he asked that? That's another key element that a lot of people have raised questions about, okay? Everybody knows social media is everything these days, right? It's so prevalent. It's ubiquitous. It's everywhere, and everybody's doing it, whether it's Instagram or YouTube or TikTok or whatever. And if you have 3 cameras, not one, even if you had just one on the helmet, and then you have one in the cockpit, and then one on the tail, the natural question is, so do you do YouTube? Like, why else would you have 3 cameras on your bike, right? Just in case something happens? Sure, that could be a reason. So, is it that unusual of a question? You know what? It's not. And I have people asking me that all the time. When I sit and stop, and I've even made videos of this. Like, there was one not too long ago where some kids came up to me. And they're like, hey, man, what's going on with your bike? Blah, blah, blah. It's a cool bike, blah, blah, blah. And then they saw my camera. And they go, oh, yeah. Are we on YouTube right now? And I go, yes, you are. Say hi to YouTube. And they, hey, what's up? It happens all the time. It's a normal thing to see cameras on the bike. So, I don't know him, and it's not like I'm trying to lie or anything like that. I don't feel good about not telling the truth. I always like to just tell the truth, and it is what it is. But I'm smart enough to know in those situations you have to be very careful about what you say because, you know, you just have to in that situation. So, and I'm very aware of that. So I'm very careful about how I answer the questions. And when he said you could have a YouTube channel, I didn't want to say anything. So I just kind of like shook my head like, no. And I felt bad about it because he's just a chill, cool dude. And I did not want to betray the coolness that was happening between us by not being honest. And I would have loved to have said, yeah, I got a YouTube channel, you know, you mind if I put you in it or something like that, you know, because that's normally what I would say in that situation. But I don't know him, you know, and I wasn't totally sure what was happening at that moment. You know, it's like you can, honestly, I mean, every one of you would agree with that, right? You don't fully know what's happening in that situation. And do you ever fully know 100%, even as I'm sitting right here after it? No, you don't fully know 100%. So it's not like I was trying to be disrespectful or harsh out the coolness of what was happening by saying, no, I don't have one. But it was just one of those judgment calls in the moment where I just had to, you know, just keep that out of the conversation. And everybody understands why. And even he would understand why in that situation. And I don't think he would hold it against me because he's well aware that when he wears the uniform, because he asked me, he says, so how fast have you gone on it? And he goes, as civilians. Now I know just because they say as civilians, it doesn't mean that protects you in some way. But I did not answer that question directly either. I just said, well, the speedometer quits above 185, you know, and I didn't say I've gone 185 miles per hour. I did not say that. I was very careful about how I answered the question. Indirectly, I said, well, the speedometer quits. Okay, that's a fact. Anybody, even somebody who has never ridden the bike, can give that answer about that motorcycle because that's what it does. As soon as it hits 185, it goes to triple dashes. It stops registering the speed. And that answers the question without, you know, saying I ever went that fast, you know. So Bexes, what's up? He was filming the plate for sure. No, his body cam was not on. We already discussed that. Look, here, I'll show you. Look right here. See? That's his body cam. No blinking light. No blink. As far as I can tell, I'm not a body cam expert, but there's no blinker on that body cam. So he just liked the bike. He just wanted to be cool and say hi. If that's what I think. Could I be wrong about that? Absolutely. I could certainly be wrong. They could be planning to arrest me. Who knows? You know, maybe if they do, it's not going to be in the end of the world. It's not going to be the worst thing. The Texas Puma. What's going on? Z says, what was the other cop doing the whole time? It was a female cop. She looked to be Hispanic, right? A Latina of some kind. And she was just sitting behind the wheel of the car, of course. And then it looked like she was just kind of like doing some typing on the computer or something. You know, like the little laptop they have right there. She looked like she was just sitting there, just doing police stuff, whatever whatever that means. I don't know. But she didn't wave. She didn't smile or anything like that. She just stayed over there. And see, that's another thing. If they were trying to do something, wouldn't both of them get out of the car? You know, if it was, then it would indicate like some kind of an actual stop or something like that. But she just sat in the car and just waited for him to just talk with me for a little bit. You know, I don't know. That's all. Do 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 do. Lucas, Joe Walsh's Maserati does 185. Now he does not drive. Life's been good, man. One of the greatest freaking songs ever. Joe Walsh, Life's Been Good. Yes. I lost my license and now I don't drive. Yeah. One of the greatest. Joe Walsh is amazing. I absolutely love the dude and his music. Tyler, what's up, man? He was asking questions he seemed like he already knew the answers to, but when you asked him questions, he didn't seem sure. Yeah, I mean, it's the questions he was asking are just not. It's not like top secret stuff, you know. It's pretty basic stuff. Is there always like the color of like some other motive overlaid on it or something because he's a cop or something? Can it just be a cool interaction? You know what I mean? Can it just be that, you know? With a cop, no, it's never that. That's not true, y'all. I know we've all watched all the videos. I've watched the police interaction videos. I watched a ton of them. I watched the audits, the police audit channels, and all this and that. I know I'm not naive. I fully understand how things are in certain situations. I fully get that. So I'm not naive. I'm just giving you the impression that I had. Could I be wrong? Yes, I absolutely could be wrong. It won't be the first time, won't be the last. But I'm just telling you what I think, what my opinion is after having gone through it, right? And then reviewed the tape on a number of occasions. So a number of times, I should say, while editing the video. And I kind of had like reservations about even putting the video out because I wouldn't want him, you know, to have any issues. You know, that's why he made a statement about how fast he had gone on another motorcycle that he was riding, and I censored it. I bleeped it out, right? Because I don't want him, you know, to have any issues either. I wanted it to just be a cool interaction, and I would hope the department would look favorably upon what he was doing because just community outreach, you know, just I don't even think he was doing that. I just think it was just a cool interaction. That's all. Pitbull says, cool cop. Yeah, man. I mean, I'm just going to go with that. Right. Valentine says, people don't understand his W shit flies through your mind. This W shit flies through your mind when 5-0 shows up randomly and acting cordial. Yeah. I mean, because typically when they roll up on you and they want to talk to you, it's because there's a problem, right? But can it just be like there's no problem and you just want to say, what's up? And just talk like two people, you know? It can be that, right? It can be. But if it's not, it's not. That's it. I mean, I do put out high-speed videos. You know what I mean? So it is what it is. It is what it is. I'm just going to go with it's cool. Just reading through your questions. Major says S1K and Ducatis are special. Well, yeah. I mean, they're nice bikes, man. I'm lucky enough to have one. I never, even before I bought it, I just bought it on a whim. Okay, it wasn't even like I planned to buy one. I had watched a lot of YouTube videos showing them and how well they perform and this and that. And I've always been kind of felt like, well, they probably going to have a lot of problems. You know, it's like, do I really want to go that route? And I was like, nah, let me just buy the R1. And that's why I bought the R1. But the R1 turned out to have the bigger problems than the Ducati. You know how many miles are on my Ducati? 40,000 miles. I have 40,000 miles on my Ducati. And that thing is running like a freaking beast. Or as of right now, I hope it stays that way. Who knows? Anything could happen tomorrow. But as of right now, the thing has never run better. It is just an insane animal of a motorcycle. And I love it. I absolutely love it. I'm a Ducati dude, for sure. I never was before. I just bought it on a whim and said, well, let me just try it. And things came together for me to be able to actually own one. I'm not a rich person, and I certainly am not YouTube rich, because YouTube makes sure that with the kind of content I do, I'm never going to make it. I'm never going to be anybody on YouTube. Now, am I somebody? Do I have worth all on my own? Do I need YouTube to affirm my worth as a person and as a content creator? No, I certainly don't, because I have all of you. But I probably have the most loyal group of people more than anyone. Probably. I don't know. At least I want to think that. You guys are special. You guys are absolutely special. You guys know what the best is. Obviously. You obviously know what the best is. And I have nothing but respect for people who know what the best is. The discerning viewer. That's what you guys are. With a higher standard. That's why you come here. Because you want the freaking legit best. Absolutely. There's no other way around it. Lucas is never say never. Yeah, but you just said it by never saying it. Lucas says Goat could host his own talk show on TV. Pitchfork, what's up, man? Well, thank you, Lucas. I am a professional. I'm a highly trained professional. Not everyone can do this. It does take a special person to do it. At this level, at my level, it doesn't come easy. I don't even think it's something that you could teach to somebody. It's not like something you could just learn how to do. You just either have it or you don't. And I certainly have it. Yeah, I'm a highly trained professional. Don't try this at home, folks. It won't end well for you. It'll just end in sadness and pathetic embarrassment. But me, on the other hand, I don't have to worry about that, because it just comes so naturally. It just comes to me naturally. Yes, it does. Of course, I'm kidding. I have no training whatsoever. I'm just a dude that likes to ride freaking bikes. That's it. And hang out with you guys. That's it. And we have a good time, right? Streets Houston. What a name. How did the cop not bust you for rolling without plates? Or did you have a plate on? Yes, I had a plate on. I had a plate on the bike. Now, it's like this. It's not quite that far. It's probably like this. Maybe like, yeah, probably like that. That's, and the numbers would be right here, right? They're probably like that. So he was up here. He would have had to come way down here, in order to read the plate. Because it's facing the ground pretty much. But it is on there. So why do I do it like that? Because if I'm sitting somewhere, if I'm at a bike meet, or at a gas station, or maybe sitting down eating a hamburger somewhere, I got a plate on the bike. Now, is it angled properly according to whatever? No, it's not. But is it on the bike? Yes, it is. So I'm being good, right? I'm trying to be good here. I'm trying to be. Yeah, for aerodynamics. That's why it's so low. Omarg, what's up? Says, what's the worst stretch of road in Houston in your opinion? Um, okay, we need to define our terms. Let's decide on what worst means. Is worst like the worst traffic or the worst road surface, like as far as the pavement type and the condition of the pavement? Is it like how many exits and entrances there are and where they're placed? I mean, I don't know. Highway 45, once you on the Highway 45 North is one of the worst sections. It's got the most traffic, and it's got narrow lanes, and it's got old concrete, and the concrete can be slippery. It's always congested, and the lanes are really narrow, and the type of people that are out there on that highway seem to be a worse conglomeration of different types of drivers than on, say, Highway 59 North, where the people on Highway 59 North seem to be more affluent and driving nicer cars, nicer trucks, and they space out more. But on Highway 45, there seems to be more clapped out beaters and, different types of vehicles that are just not in great shape. So, and when you have that situation, they're going to leak more oil than the nicer, more affluent cars. I don't know why it's like that. It's just something that I've noticed over the years. Highway 45 seems to be kind of like a ghetto highway, and Highway 59 North seems to be more of a upper scale highway for some reason. And the highway itself is newer. It's a megaplex highway. It's 4 or 5 lanes wide the whole way after you leave Houston, all the way up to the north side. It's really quite nice. Now, Highway 45, once you get past the Beltway, opens up and becomes a really nice highway, and it changes for some reason. It's just that stretch in between 610 and the Beltway. Highway 45 between 610 and the Beltway is just gnarly. The other bad stretch of road, as far as road surface and what type of roadway it is Highway 45 going through downtown through the Pierce Elevated that you guys see me ride on a regular basis. It's got entrances and exits, multiples of those on both sides of the highway. You got people crossing over, and it's 3 highways that come together, plus on ramps and off ramps. And then it's up and curves around down, and it's got whoops and bumps, and the road surface is just real rough, and it's sketch, and it's got uneven pavement all over the place. And I absolutely love flying through there. Why? Because it's hard. It's really difficult. It's really a challenge. You have to be on top of your game to move quickly through there and live to tell about it and keep control of your bike. And that's one of my favorite sections because of the complexity of it. Everything else is easy. But then when everything else is easy, you look for things that are a challenge, because if you're a true rider, if you really have it in your blood and you just want to increase your power level as a badass, you want to just be able to expose yourself to difficult challenges. And why? Because you have what it takes to do it. And that's why I like that stretch of road, even though I would consider it one of the most gnarliest sections of road. Yeah. And the route that we go down at night is really rough and full of whoops and uneven pavement too. And it is also very challenging, especially to do high triple digits, like 170, 185 in the turns. Diving in at 180 miles per hour on that particular road requires a great deal of understanding of the road and having your bike set up perfectly. It's like a testing ground for like your suspension setup and everything. it's really a challenge, and to be able to move down that highway as one of the fastest to ever ride that highway is something that I'm quite proud of. Now, there's people that move down it quicker than me. One of the reasons why is because my bike has had an oscillation problem in the turns. Like if the road is super smooth, it doesn't oscillate that much, and I can really get down and boogie. But if there's any bumps, it always has kind of like done this like this hobbling, wobbling thing. But I just fixed it after all these years, and I just needed to add more preload in the rear spring, and I've done that, and it's solid now. Now there's no reason for me to not be able to be just as fast as the other people I ride with, if maybe faster. Who knows? There should be no reason. There's nothing holding me back now. But my bike being out of adjustment as far as the preload in the rear has been an issue. But I solved that issue. Omar says, sucks that Pierce Elevated is going away soon. Is it? Okay. All right. Hey, Linnell, what's going on? How are you? Bezzy's here. What's up? Oh, you just now discovered I was out. Yeah. See, I was testing you guys by switching the channel. We're just doing this live stream here on this channel for tonight because of the video that I uploaded earlier. Hopefully I'm right about that. But if not, you know what my luck would be is that they wouldn't even post my mugshot anywhere. They would just my luck would be they would just arrest me and book me and make me pay all this shit, and then they wouldn't even do me the favor of posting my mugshot. That's they can at least do that, and then maybe put me on the media. That would be fantastic. That might be the only way for me to break out of the restrictions that YouTube has put on my channel. In the age of social media, any type of publicity is going to help you, and getting out on the media and having a mugshot out there, especially, see, I really don't worry about it because I just happen to be, super handsome. So my mugshot is going to be fantastic, like without even trying. I won't even have to like prepare for it. You know what I mean? It's just like they can catch me at any time of the day, and yeah, it won't be bad. So hopefully, but it would be my luck. I was born this way, extremely gorgeous, extremely handsome. So much so that I have to wear this mask so I don't scare people away. Make them regret, being alive and stuff because, they will never be this handsome. So I wear the mask, to protect their emotional state. But they can at least put me on the media. They could, I would certainly hope that they would do that. Put me on the media and post my mugshot everywhere. And then watch my subscriber count go through the roof, right? Because not only will people be interested to watch the videos in the channel, but they will be inspired to do so that they can see my face, more than just the mugshot. They will absolutely be attracted to the channel that way. So I'm just wondering where they're at. Like, come on. Like, what's holding them back? Come on, this will make my year. Texas Puma says you should go from red back to black for a little while. LOL, just say, man, I ain't worried about it, dog. I'm really not. I'm an angel anyway. Lucas says Goat should get one of those Los Angeles cop chases. Then he could be super famous. I know, but it's not going to help me if they don't catch me. I would have to sandbag. I would absolutely have to sandbag it, bro. And see, that goes against my principles. I cannot sandbag. Just like George Washington chopped down the cherry tree, and he said, when his dad said, George, come here. Yes, sir. George, What happened to the cherry tree? Did you chop it down, George? And little George was like, I cannot tell a lie. I did indeed chop down the cherry tree. Cannot tell a lie. And so I'm like that. You know, I'm just like George Washington, the founding father of the United States. That's what I am. Shifty Eddie says the damn flock cameras going up all over here. I figured they know where you live. Mr. Mime, what's going on, man? Triple dashes. I see you, dog. Um, Drive a white Bronco like OJ Simpson. Oh yeah. Yeah, that would be great. Hey man, that fool got off. He sure did, man. I remember I remember exactly where I was when that verdict was given. I was in ground school for my flight training at that time. Yeah, that's where I was. And one of the instructors came in and said, not guilty. And we all knew what it meant. And everybody was just like, whoa. That dude just offed two people, man. And he got away with it. Yeah. All I need is a white Bronco and I'll need to wash my gloves and then leave them out somewhere so that they can find them. And they say, aha, we found Crash Test Goat's glove. And but see, they won't know that I had just put it in the washer and the dryer and it shrank, right? And then what I would do is I would put extra salt on my eggs that morning, so that I would retain a little bit of water and maybe my hands would be a little bit, bigger, I mean, they're already big hands. My hands are huge, by the way. Just in case anybody's wondering, my hands are massive. They're like freaking huge, right? See, freaking huge, perfect hands, except for my broken pinky. Um, Other than that, perfect and big. And then they would say, aha, all we got to do, try on this glove. And I'd be like, it doesn't fit. Even though it goes fully on, I'd be like, I can't even bend my fingers. I can't even bend my, if it does not fit, you must have quit. And then I'd be like, pew. Thylacine, what's going on, man? That case is made of plastic and there's a large battery under the camera lens. Yeah, but it would have a blinking light on it, right? But there's no blinking light. Oh, there's a new flock camera that points at your house. Oh, that's great. Man, I'm not in favor of the flock cameras by any means, but I heard that they were going to have drones. They were going to have mini like drones like sitting out like on poles and to where they can like like power them up and then they take off. And then they follow you. And then they can, they're like homing drones, and then they can come back to their pole, and it's like they're recharging, and then they retract and go back to sleep. I think it was Sean Ryan on YouTube. You guys watch that show, that podcast, the Sean Ryan podcast. I think he has a video about it. This was months ago that I saw it. I thought that was going to be the thing, but now they're just like, we don't need drones. We're just going to put cameras up everywhere with AI controlling them to where they can like record every single thing about your vehicle and what you're wearing and your travel habits, that kind of stuff. Um, I mean, unless they see you like going right into your house, I mean, like, and if they can't read your plate, because they put them up, right? Like the cameras are up. And why do they put the cameras up? So that people walking by can't reach them with their hands, right? So to protect the cameras from people trying to bash them off. Because I think people are already doing that. They're trying to and people should, look, I'm not saying people should commit any crimes or anything like that, but It wouldn't surprise me if people were inspired to go and take baseball bats to them and knock them off and just keep doing it. And if the whole freaking large sections of the city did it, I think they might get the message. You know, a long time ago, like 20 years ago, they put up all the red light cameras, and their cameras are still up there, by the way. But they started issuing tickets to people, to the vehicles. They weren't issuing tickets to the people. They were issuing tickets to the vehicle because they can't really see the people. So whoever the vehicle was registered to, they would send the tickets. And you know what people did? They just said, screw you. I ain't paying. And they just didn't pay it. And then it got brought back up to the state or city council or whatever it was. I can't remember. And then it got voted away. But they didn't take the cameras down, though. The cameras are still there and functioning so that they can keep an eye on everybody. So the cameras, and it's not just on the red light poles. They have cameras on the highway. You know, the Harris County Toll Road Authority's got cameras all over the place. There's cameras in the toll booths. There's cameras everywhere. Are these different? Yeah, I think these are different because they don't just track license plates, and they are absolutely tracking everything, you know, all of your movement. This and that. They can even track people like on walking trails and stuff like that. In one way, I mean, it's always sold to you as safety. Like, say somebody gets assaulted or worse or whatever on a jogging trail, and now they've got cameras to see who came and went on that jogging trail, and then they can catch somebody. Or it would prevent, it's like preventative, because anybody who knows that those cameras are there wouldn't hurt somebody on the jogging trail, right? Because they know that they would be caught. So it's kind of like a prevention. But do I like Big Brother everywhere looking at everything that we do? No, but I don't think there's going to be any means to stop it unless everybody rises up and just says no. But you know how, like, we were just talking about the police audit videos and stuff that are all over YouTube? What do those consist of? Those are constitutional, exercising constitutional rights. One of those things that they're exercising, the right that they're using, is the ability to film in public, right? Which means that they can go up to any government facility or anything like that, and they can anytime a cop pulls somebody over, they can go and film within a distance to where it's not interfering, but they have the right to do that, and nobody can stop him. And what is the legal precedent for that? The legal precedent, as far as I know, is when you're in a public space, you have no expectation of privacy because you are visible to anybody who's out there. And if somebody is recording in public, that's not unreasonable to assume that would be happening, because you understand that you're in a public place. You're not in a private place. Now, if somebody goes up to your window, like on your home, and starts filming you inside your house, see, you have an expectation of privacy there, right? But when you're out in public or on the highways or anything like that, you have no expectation of privacy. So where does it fall? It comes down to, not only does the government have the right to do it, but should they? But see, here's what they're doing. They are not doing it as the government. This is a trick that the government employs. And the trick is this way to skirt the Constitution is they just set up private companies, or have a private company do it. They'll fund a private company or some roundabout way. And then they can just say, well, it's a private company. The government, the restrictions on what the government can do not apply to what a private company can do. Kind of like social media, where they collect all of your personal data and then sell it, right? Or use it to surveil you, right? Because we all know, and everybody should know, that social media is just basically a dummy company set up by the government, like Facebook and all that, Google, all of that stuff. None of that stuff came into being without the government funding and supporting it, like DARPA and all of that. DARPA is what it wasn't Mark Zuckerberg that created Facebook. It was DARPA, okay, and that's the government. But then they couldn't put it into place as DARPA or as the government because then it wouldn't be able to function due to the constitutional restrictions on it. So they created this story and fictitious way of making people think it was set up as a private company when it really wasn't. It was called LifeLog, I think is what it was called, while DARPA was developing it. And then on the day that Facebook was launched, LifeLog ceased to exist. It was closed and shut down on exactly the same day. It's like they're not even trying to hide it. Most people don't know that, but that story and the movie, and all that, how he stole it from the twins and the college and all that shit, that's all bullshit. It's a government creation. So the flock cameras being run through private companies is the exact same thing. It's the government doing it, and that's wrong. It just by the nature of that alone, it has nothing to do with the expectation of privacy. It has nothing to do with being in a public space and this and that. It has to do with the fact that in reality, it is the government posing as a private company to skirt the limitations that the Constitution places on government. That is fraud. That is a scam. That is a violation of the constitutional protections that we, the people, have when it comes to the government breaking, what is it, the Fourth Amendment, unreasonable search and seizure? Or I don't know. I'm not a constitutional expert by any means, but I could be wrong about that. But I'm sure some of you know, right? And we'll correct that. Xanit, what's up, dude? Dude, I haven't seen you in forever. So, Tyler says so many people have no idea Flock even exists. That's right. Flock is putting up more than cameras. Once they get enough contract money from cameras, then they put out the next product. City cameras aren't a problem. Yeah, well, we are going into the future, and we are all kept in the dark about these things. But, one glimmer of hope, I would say, is social media and the internet as a whole, let's say. Everything is good and bad. Everything can have a good side and a bad side. The internet can be used to surveil us, but the internet is also used to inform everyone about the surveillance, right? And a long time ago, when people discovered that these right here are spying devices, the government, once again, it's not T-Mobile or whatever, Verizon or whatever your cell phone company is. Those are all, they're private companies, yes, but the government, and the government acts like they can't break people's phones, like Apple and this and that. That's all bullshit. They're developed with all of the ability to do that. So, we already have spying devices that we carry with us everywhere, into the bathroom, into the shower, in the car. We keep them right next to us when we're sleeping. They can hear us snoring at night. They can hear you doing everything that you're doing, everything that you're saying. And they put a camera on the front and a camera on the back so that no matter what position you place your phone in, they can see out of both. I put, see that? I put tape over at least the one that shows my face. Because they don't deserve to see something this beautiful. That's why I do it. Because if they're spying on me, they should not have the amazing fortune to have their eyes filled with such a glorious image. Nope, absolutely not. They don't get that. They are bad. They are very bad. They're doing something they're not supposed to be doing, so they are not going to be the fortunate recipients of something so beautiful. Nope. Yes, yes, yes. It's so true. And I wouldn't even joke about it. Not even at all. Not even a little bit. Rooster, what's going on, dude? How's y'all doing? Y'all's, meaning us, are good. Lion Strategic says red light cameras have been banned by the Texas legislature back in 2019. Cities that have existing contracts can continue to operate them, but they can't enforce any fines. Right. Yeah. The ability to send people tickets in the mail went away because the people rose up and let it be known this is bullshit. We don't want this. And that's what people need to do with the flock cameras. Um, I don't know what the future holds with those, but it doesn't mean the end of ripping. I don't know. You know, um, I really don't know. I don't. I hope not because ripping is good. Ripping is fun. It is. It is. It's American. Damn it. You know. It's like and nannying everybody like a nanny state. You know, and just everybody's turned into a freaking Karen. You know, everybody's like scared of everything, afraid to take risks for something greater. It's just pathetic. It's the wussification of a nation. It's the absolute forced wussification almost by like we all live somewhat in a box of imposed restrictions upon us to some degree. There are some things you just can't do, whether it's just not socially acceptable or legally allowed. And so we all live in. And why do people, like all of you here, like some of you might even, I've heard people refer to myself as somewhat of a freedom fighter of a sort. You know, and it's not just me. I mean, there's other people like me, but I never thought of myself that way. But I read some comments like over the years that kind of say, hey, you know, you're fighting for freedom, you know, by doing what you're doing because there are so many restrictions placed upon us that it places us into a box. And so when people see somebody, and why do people like to see people escape during police pursuits? It's kind of the same thing. It's like the underdog against the massive system, the machine that is regulating almost everyone. And then like Ghost Rider, for example, if you see somebody able to escape the confinement, the cell that we're all placed in, and when you see somebody making a break for it and able to exceed the boundaries of that restrictive box of limitations that we're all placed into, people are like, yeah, because it's an exercise of freedom in the face of a giant, overarching, overwhelming machine that keeps us all pinned down in some way, shape, or form. And that's why people get behind people that go out and demonstrate that. And then there's other people that think that those people are just criminals, you know. And an appropriate term might be an anti-hero of sorts, where um, it's not a perfect person. It's not like Superman, you know. He's like always does everything right and everything's perfect. He's kind of somebody who has a little bit of darkness to him, a little bit, you know, a little bit of a dark side, you know, a little bit of a, you know, will bend the rules in order to get something done kind of a person. when say Superman or an actual superhero or whatever would never bend the rules. They would always operate within the bounds of whatever the rules are in order to get something done. But an anti-hero, on the other hand, is somebody who will break the rules in order to get something done. Batman would be kind of an example of that, a kind of a dark figure, can go out and beat up the criminals, whereas, say, the police officers that need to operate within the bounds of the law cannot do that. You see? So Batman can kind of, or a vigilante of some kind would be kind of like an anti-hero, right? Somebody, like, say somebody does something to some child or something, right? And then somebody goes and takes that person out. Some people would view that person as an absolute, monster or criminal or whatever. And then there's going to be other people that look at that person and say that's kind of a dark hero, right? Somebody who just does what we all know should be done. But it exceeds the boundaries of the system that we have in place. And the system that we have in place is not a bad system necessarily. It's a good system because it protects everybody by no matter what, they get their day in court and then they're judged by a number of their peers. So it's not like one person judging. And sometimes mistakes can be made, right? Sometimes somebody who's innocent can be accused of something. And so that system is there to prevent a false imprisonment or punishment, a false, like an improper punishment of somebody who may actually be innocent. But in that same system, some people actually do escape by working that system, even though they are guilty. But it's better to, I guess, I've heard it said that it's better to let like 10 or 100 guilty people go free than imprison one innocent person. And I kind of agree with that. It's such a terrible thing if someone is actually innocent to be put in prison. And that does happen because the system isn't perfect. And then sometimes the system's corrupt too. Sometimes evidence is planted and that kind of stuff. And sometimes there's corrupt people in positions of power. That is a thing. Yeah. So, but it's the system we have. And overall, I think it's better than not having it, so. Well, did all of the questions get asked? Did I answer all of the questions? Now, there was a lot of comments on that video, and there was absolutely no way I can respond to them all. I was with family today and everything. So I hope everyone understands I'm not ignoring anybody. I value every single person that leaves a comment on any one of my videos. And it means a lot to me. It really does. But one thing, let me show you guys something. Now my subscribers are going up, but very slowly. Okay, it's not like it's breaking any records. And this video, you would think this video, if it out of any video, this one should be one that does really well, right? Let me show you. Look, here's the video right here, right? Crash this goat gets stopped by cops. And it's in the I gotta scroll up. In the number two out of 10, which is not bad. It's really good. And it's got 6.6K views on it right there. And let me show you this other thing, this chart. This is what I want to show you. Look at that chart. You see how it takes off? It's up and then it's rolling over and it's flattening out. It's not completely flat. It's still kind of still rising, but super slow. The reason why you see this chart like this is because my channel is restricted. This channel, that video should just be going like crazy, because that's probably one of the most interesting videos I've ever made, right? Is that interaction with the cop, I would say. And let me also reinforce what I'm saying, because this video has had more comments on it, like engagement from you guys. More people clicked on it and watched it in a shorter amount of time than almost any other of my videos. And more people have left comments, and then people are talking to people, leaving comments on other people's comments in the comment section. And this isn't viral. It should be viral. And that proves right there that my channel is being held back. It's just a greater number of subscribers are actually looking at it. And the way that we're all told the algorithm works is if your video is tested with a small sampling of your subscribers when it's first released. So not everybody gets notifications. It does a test group. And if that test group, it performs well with that test group, then it gets expanded to a larger number of your subscribers. And it does that test several times. I don't know how many. But then if it performs well with all of your subscribers that it tests, then it will go out to people who are not subscribed to your channel, because it has passed the test as being worthy, as good enough to show to people that aren't familiar with your channel, but they probably will be interested in this video if it's presented to them. And that's how a video makes it into escape velocity, as I like to say, like into a viral position, to where it starts to go crazy and exceed the number of subscribers that you have on your channel. It will actually, like, I have 28,000 subscribers. It's very slow growth over the years, because I've been shadow banned, and which I am pretty much right now, restricted to some degree. And it should be being presented to new people. And let me show you how that it isn't. So this is one chart right here. This shows the number of views and its trajectory in the form of a chart. Now I'm going to go to the next page. This is watch time, 392 hours of watch time, right? Now I'm going to subscribers gained. How many subscribers have I gained from this video? And it's pathetic. 14. It's got 6,600 views since 10 o'clock this morning, and it's only gained 14 subscribers. That means it's not being presented to any, really, at least to the level it should be, any new people, which proves to me right there that this is mainly only being shown to my subscribers, and not even all of my subscribers. Proof right there that even with a video as interesting as this, with this much engagement, a shit ton of comments, and they're not short comments either. People are writing long ass comments on this thing, so the engagement is through the roof. The controversy is through the roof on this, and it's not performing the way it should. Now, is it in the number 2 slot out of all my past 10 videos? But that isn't shit, because my videos don't get hardly any views. So it's easy for a video like this to exceed those. The only video that's higher than that is my last viral video. And that's the Superbikes blast past cops with ease. That's got over 500,000 views on it now. So that's just, see, like right here, you see, like, see right here, number 1, high speed Superbikes blast past cops with ease. And look, 530K views on it. But this was months ago. This was like 5 months ago. And I haven't had anything do really well in that long. The latest video that I put out that has done somewhat decently, still hasn't exceeded my subscriber count, is the video where me and Slow R6 uh, hit the highway. It's this one right here. The one in the number 4 slot. Two super bikes blast past cops with these. The one that shows, it's an AI picture. It shows the cops behind us. That one's got 25,000 views on it. 26,000. Okay. So that one almost is exceeding my subscriber count, but it's been like 2 weeks or so since I put that video out. And you can see how the chart just, they kind of go flat. I mean, it's not bad performance, but I need shit to go viral. That's what I need. So, or else my channel's never going to grow. I can't put out a video like this that's this interesting with this cop in it, this cool cop, and then gain 14 subscribers from it. That is proof that YouTube is saying, fuck you, goat. We hate you. This is why I can't get anywhere. This is why I'm the black sheep of YouTube. I'm the super small one, even though my content, I can proudly say my content's pretty damn freaking good. I'm doing shit on these bikes that nobody does, and I guess that's what's kicking my ass too at the same time. MZK, what's up, Mezzy King? What's up, Goat? How are y'all doing, people? We're all doing good, man. The Duck 959. What's up, man? That's a cool bike. Just watched the video before joining the live, and sheesh, very unusual encounter. They've asked me that question before, but I said it's for insurance purposes, just in case something happens. Yeah, about the cameras. Yeah. Tomash, what's going on, man? I don't think that cop was being genuine. He just wanted to identify you and learn as much info as possible about you. Yeah, I'm Rage Against the Machine. What's going on, man? I've in the first part of this live stream, I went through all of the reason why I think it was just a normal encounter. Could I be wrong? Sure, I could be wrong, but maybe y'all will find out how beautiful I am soon with a new mugshot. And if they put me out in the media and the news covers me and everything, that'll be great, because then maybe I can get some traction on my YouTube channel. I mean, I don't really want for that to happen, of course, because I would have to come up with some, I might have to spend a night in the clink. And I really don't like the clink very much. I don't want to spend any time there. But after that, I wouldn't have to wear my mask anymore. They would be freeing me in a sense by putting me in the clink. The metal hotel, give me a ride in the blue taxi to the metal hotel. They would be freeing me in a sense. But I will say all of you would have to live knowing that there was something this beautiful in the world. I mean, some of you would be like happy about that, but others of you would be like, God dang it. I thought I was higher on the beautiful scale than I actually am. See, go redefine See, I thought I thought I was like a 7 or an 8 on the handsome scale, but see, Goat, he ain't even a 10. He's like a 20, and then that makes me like a 7. God dang it! I hate you, Goat. I love you, but man, why did you have to take the mask off? Why couldn't you know that cop was out to get you? Why'd you have to tell him? Why'd you have to make the video, man? Stickman Modesto, cool name. Up to Tom D. Cowie. What's going on, man? Cop vid was super suspicious. If passenger cop was so into bike, why did the driver pull in so fast and hard right in front of you? Cop asking sus questions. Play. Yeah, I mean, who knows, man? Kangaroo Zombie says not normal the way he pulled up on you. Makes the rest. I don't see any problem with the way they pulled up. Let's watch it. I have it right here. Let's watch it. Let's look. Y'all want to watch? Let's watch it. Is the music's not playing anymore? Good. Okay. That expired. Okay, look. Look where we're at. Okay, this is them right here. You see them? This is them right here. Now watch. Watch as they pull up. They're right there. They're just sitting there. See, look, you can see him right here. You can see my bike through these hedges. He's looking right over the hedges. It's not like the hedges are obscuring my bike. He's just sitting there at the light, and then he just happens to look over, right? Here, I can even zoom in on him. See, he's got his arms out, and he's looking right at me. He's looking right at me. See, he's right there. He's just looking. And look, there's an entrance over here. If they were coming after me and they were watching me, then they could have pulled in right here and then just came around, or gone over here and then came out in front of me, like through the other way. But they were just cruising down the road and they just got caught at the light, right? And then he turns in and you hear me, I'm getting ready to go. And look, he's just got his window down. He's got his arm hanging out. And he goes, "Hey, man." He just lifted up. He goes, "Hey, what's up?" And I'm just saying, when I'm right here, you can see me. I'm looking at him, and I'm just going, "Oh, all right." I haven't done anything. I'm just getting gas, and I got plate on the bike. I'm perfectly legal. Everything's fine. So I'm just like, I don't really know what's going on, but I know that they're not busting me for doing anything wrong. I didn't do anything.
What's up?
See, I'm like, "Hey, what's up?" And see, I lift my visor so he can see me. I did that as a sign of like communication, like eye to eye respect.
Hey, man.
Cool, man.
What's going on? How are you?
I love your bike, man.
Thank you.
That doesn't seem genuine to you guys. He just gets out. But what we're talking about here is how they pulled up. Let's look at how they pulled up. Slowly. Slow.
What's up?
And look, I can even turn this off and then we can watch it just by the helmet cam. Watch right here.
What's up?
And did y'all see that flashing light? That's not their lights on. That's just the refresh rate of the camera. Their emergency lights are not on. That's just the flicker, kind of like how my dashboard flickers because of the refresh rate of the camera. Let's watch it again. Watch the yellow amber light that's right here. That's not the lights on.
What's up?
See, you can see it kind of, that was the turn signal, and then it went solid.
Hey,
That's sick, man.
Cool, man.
What's going on? How are you?
I love your bike, man.
Thank you.
How long you had it?
4 years.
4 years? Damn. Dude, that sounds sick, dude.
Thanks.
How many cc's is it?
1100.
1100?
I should have turned it off. I should have turned the bike off while I was talking to him, but I didn't think it was going to last this long. I thought that he was it was going to be quicker than actually what it was. But he's cool. Like, he's just a cool dude. That's the only impression I get out of this.
That's insane.
Yeah.
Wow.
What you got?
For 4 years? This bike looks brand new.
Yeah.
See? You've had it for 4 years. It looks brand new. It does. It's hard to believe this bike is 4 years old. It looks like off the showroom floor. I'm telling you guys. It's really in good shape.
I'm trying to take care of it.
Yeah? You keep it in the garage?
Oh, yeah, for sure.
See? You keep it in a garage. He didn't say, "Where's your garage?" He just like, "Is that how you're keeping it so nice?" That's a normal question. Like, how are you doing this? It's in the garage.
Man. That's super cool. I've never seen a Ducati in person. That's why when I saw it, I was like, man, I got to see this.
Oh, that.
And look, when he goes to the back, he's not, from his angle, here's the tail of the bike. From where he is, there's no way that he can see the plate because it's too low.
awesome, man.
That exhaust is
He's way up here and the plate's way down underneath the tail, like in front of the tire. He can't see it. He's not even looking at it. He's just checking the bike out and he wanted to see the exhaust.
sick.
Yeah, thanks.
Stock?
No.
I was like, I heard Ducatis are actually quiet.
Yeah, I had stock exhaust and it's super quiet.
How much was that exhaust?
This is like 1500.
1500?
Yeah, it's not even that bad.
That's not too bad.
Yeah.
That's super cool.
Yeah, man. Thank you.
That's dope, man. That's super, super cool.
What you guys up to today?
Nothing, man. It's just a slow day. I ride motorcycles too, man. But
What do you have?
I have a Honda Rebel 1100.
Oh, that's badass. Cruiser.
Cruiser type of thing.
Yeah,
You know
yeah.
what I mean?
Awesome.
My friend has a CBR.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
So anyway, he's just a cool dude. You're just having a conversation about bikes. I don't now when this was happening, I'm just like, yeah, I'm still trying to process like what's really happening, you know what I mean? But it was just a cool interaction. I liked him. I thought he was super cool. I mean, we all listen, folks. We all want cops to be cool, right? We all want a nice interaction with cops. That they're in the community, they're there to serve the community, to help keep us safe, and of course enforce the laws and do all this, right? That's what their job is, and that's what society has to help us. And it's not always fun to talk to them, is it? But that's what we want it to be. We want it to be cool like this, right? But then when it is cool like this, oh no. I mean, it's not cool. It can't, even when it's cool, there's something wrong with it. I know, but trust me, I know how it feels. And I understand that, but I just don't think that that's what this was. Could I be wrong? Could that be an act? I guess he would win the frickin' like Academy Award for the best acting. He just a dude. That's just how I see it. Jersenvisor, what's up, man? How are you? Swami, what's up, Swami? You're late. Swami likes man in uniform. There you go. Kangaroo Zombie says he seemed cool, but better not say too much. Out of uniform would have been a different story. Yeah, I mean, you always want to be careful what you say. Always. So, Shotwell, what's going on, man? He's filming. No, he's not. He's got his body camera on him, but it's not activated. There's no blinking light on it. He didn't activate his body cam. Betsy says, or did I hear that info wrong from earlier streams? What are you asking? Wasn't MP to Recon involved? Yes. MP to Recon was a sheriff's deputy or a constable or something like that. I think he was a sheriff's deputy, Montgomery County Sheriff's deputy. Yeah. That's where he was. Yeah, and he rode with us. Right. Good point. Yeah. And you know what? It's interesting you mentioned that, because whenever MP to Recon, the way y'all want to know how I met him, he watched my videos on my first channel. He knew where we met, like on the routes, like on bike nights at the bombshells. He showed up, and then he reached out to meet me, like people used to do, right? I'm shadow banned now, so I don't get the same kind of attention that I used to. But at that time, I used to have people coming up to me all the time, like I was like somebody, like a celebrity and shit. And he actually came out like that to meet me, and I kind of got a vibe from him a little bit, because he kind of looked like a cop, right? Like what you would think was a cop. And then and we just kind of, hey, I watch your videos and say, okay, great. And then he was like riding a Harley or something at the time, and then we left. And then a couple months later, whatever, he showed back up again, but then he had a ZX10 at that time, because he wanted to ride like he was watching us ride. And then I saw him another time, and then he said, hey, let me can I buy you a drink or something? I said, yeah, maybe just like a Coke, Diet Coke or something like that. He goes, okay. And we sat together and talked, and he was just asking me stuff and, about, just trying to, like, normal conversation, but I was kind of getting the vibe. And then we were out another time, and then we were in the bathroom, and then we were talking, right? And then he was like, I am a cop, by the way. And I was like, great, that's just awesome. And then and that kind of like made me just say, oh, whoa, okay, all right. Not that I have anything against cops. It's just that, like, why are you here? Why are you telling me this, right? Because we are going out on motorcycles and riding. So, and then, he just kept around, but I kind of like always kept him at a distance, right? I was always careful about this and that, but he ended up just hanging out with us more and more and more, and then I started to become more comfortable with him, and then he ended up, as I was starting to become even more comfortable with him, and my guard was like fully like relaxing a little bit around him, because I was getting to know him more, and then he ended up dying. He ended up passing away, right? And it hit me hard. It hit me hard because it still bothers me right now. And when I think about it, it hurts a little bit. But he was always laughing and jovial and jolly. He was jolly and having a good time, right? And I always kept him at a distance. And he's a decorated Marine, right? He's like a war hero for like valor. He had multiple medals. When we went to the funeral, I saw him in his Marine uniform, and he had multiple medals. And it was a Marine style wedding, or not wedding, excuse me. I wish, right? It was a Marine style funeral. And there was other war heroes that came and spoke at the funeral, and I was there, and Tank was there with me too. And I think Rob was there, and his wife, and we were there, and it was cool. And you know what? There were other cops there because he had family that were other cops. And then I actually introduced myself as Crash Disc Goat to the other cops. And you should have seen one cop, his eyes got kind of big, like, whoa, really? Because they knew who I was. But that was a place, where we were all coming together. And I, like I said, I got nothing against cops. But the reason why I'm telling this story is because he was cool, and I kept him at a distance because I was scared. I'm not going to even lie. I was nervous about it. And why? I did it to myself. I had placed myself in a position to be nervous and scared and afraid to the point where I held back on having a better connection with somebody who deserved better from me. He deserved better. Now, I treated him good and all that stuff, but I should have done better. And I have to live with that now. And I live with that regret. I have regret over that. And it's not pleasant. And I didn't get a chance to fully become really close friends with him to the level that he deserved, to the level that he wanted to be my friend. He was drawn to me because he looked up to me in a way because of the riding, because of what I was able to do on a bike. He wanted that. He wanted to be close to that, to be close to me because of it. And I kept him at a distance. And he would text me sometimes and say, hey, you want to go ride or whatever? And I wasn't motivated to just go ride with him. And he would go out on his own or find other people to ride with whenever I could have been there for him. And I wasn't because I was scared. Well, I'm not scared right now. I'm not scared anymore. I learned what I did. And I said, I'm not going to be like that anymore. And here's a gentleman, a police officer who just came up and shook my hand and he wanted to talk to me because of the bike. He didn't know who I am, you know, and he just wanted to reach out and just be cool. And I'm not. I won't not be cool, even if I'm wrong. I have a personal thing about not doing that again. Even if it's detrimental to me, even if he's the one who's trying to set me up or whatever, which I don't think he is, but say he was, I still know that I was cool. And he would still have to say, well, I hated doing that to him because he was really cool. He seems like a chill dude that I could probably be friends with. So that's where I'm at on this. That's where I'm at. So thank you, Bezzy, for bringing that up, because it is a factor in my position in the way I am today because of what happened within Peter Recon. His name was Abel Rodriguez, by the way. Abel Rodriguez. That's his real name, and his real name should be said because he was a military war hero, veteran, who wanted to be my friend. And I should be so freaking lucky to have a friend like that. And I kept it at a distance. I didn't allow it to be what it should have been. And I missed the opportunity. I missed an opportunity. So, nothing but respect for him. And I lacked what it took. He was brave enough to go into battle and risk his life, and I wasn't even brave enough to just be his friend to the level that he deserved. That's sad. You know what I mean? That's something that I live with. I was a coward at that time, and I should not have been that way because I like to go fast on bikes. It's just not that big. It shouldn't have been a barrier. You know what I mean? I should have just been brave and just said, screw it. The guy's cool. And that's the way I look at this guy. So that's where I'm at. Thank you, Bezzy. Rage Against the Machine says, I still wear my helmet when watching the GOAT. Me too, man. When I watch my own videos, I have to put the helmet on. No, I'm kidding. Oh. Oh, Stickman Modesto says the story reminds me of the Fast and the Furious. It's the life, bro. I guess I'm living that life to some level. I don't know. I didn't even think of it like that, but now that you mention it, it is kind of like that. Yeah. The bike life is let me my channel it's not just Crash Just Go. I put at the beginning of almost every video, and I've done this for years, the adventures of Crash Just Go. I started that from the beginning. I don't put it on every video, sometimes because I'm just lazy or I forget, but it's an adventure. It's not a boring life. I will tell you, it's not a peaceful life. Peaceful in the sense of I didn't ask for it, peace. If I wanted peace, I would just ride the freaking car every day. If I wanted peace, I would be angry and frustrated, but you would have peace in the sense of you don't have to worry really about anything, right? Well, I'm not going to worry about anything. I'm going to just try to do the best I can do. I'm going to try to be the best human being that I can be, the best man I can be, the best friend I can be, and the best husband I can be, the best son I can be, the best friend. I guess I already said that, and a nice person. I'm trying to be a nice person too, and treat people how I want to be treated. And whenever somebody comes up to me and just puts their hand out and shakes my hand, hey man, I'm just going to take it for what it's worth. That's just where I'm at. I appreciate all of the concern though. I really do. And I think in a lot of cases, everybody would be right. And y'all might be right in this case. I might be completely wrong, but at least I know that I'm doing what I think is right in the sense of how I handle it. So I will sleep good tonight. I will. So Tommy Dillon, what's up, man? says, if you had more time, maybe things would be different today. Don't beat yourself up. I appreciate that. And you're right. It would be different because we were becoming closer. I was starting to just say, okay, this is stupid. I was completely stupid. I was completely paranoid and stupid. Now, paranoid is kind of a strong term, like as being something good, but it really is. It's another way of saying being aware and being conscious of what's happening, and not disregarding, what your gut is telling you. Some people call that paranoid. It's only paranoid if there's an unfounded fear of something, but it stops being paranoia when whatever you're concerned about is an actual reality or a real possibility. That's just called, a sensible thinking, I guess, is what you would call it. Stickman Modesto says, I'm a 62-year-old rider. I wish I could ride like you. I'm probably still alive because I can't. Well, you're still riding, man, and I appreciate the compliment. And just ride in the way that has gotten you to where you are today, and that's all that matters. Nothing else matters besides that, my man. Riding is riding, and riding is something different for each and every one of us. As many of us as there are, that's as many ways riding can be different and mean something very specific to each individual rider. And if you can make it to this age and still be riding, that is a huge accomplishment. It means you're 100% doing something correct. And I would not regret or second guess that in any way. Absolutely not. That's the way to do it. Pitchfork says, exactly, Goat. Unfounded fear versus possibilities and probabilities. That's exactly right. Yeah. Paranoia is a fear of something that, is highly unlikely or unreasonable. Yeah. So, Alex Cerratos, 23 Ducati Street Fighter V2. Yeah, cool, man. The 23 has still got all the power. They only detune them for 25, so you're golden, man. Absolutely. Kangaroo Zombie says, goat riding one piece now. I don't know what that means, bro. I don't know. I don't understand what you're asking me, man. I want to know, but I can't. My slow brain can't figure it out, man. So anyway, we're at 2 hours and 20 minutes. I said we normally go 2 hours, but we've gone 20 minutes over. I'm giving you the extra 20 minutes for free without charging anybody anymore. So I'm probably going to go because I really need to go to the bathroom and take a piss. But just a couple more things. Tyler says, what do you think about the guys driving cars through traffic like they're splitting lanes on bikes? Squeeze and all them. I'm not into it, man. It's interesting to some degree, and I'm not trying to throw shade on them or anything like that, but and what you don't see in the videos is all the accidents that they have. They wreck a lot of cars and they hit a lot. I think they're hitting people like in other cars. They're making mistakes and doing all that stuff. Do they have balls? Absolutely. But is it harder to do that in a car because of just the sheer size difference between the car and the gaps and all this and that? Absolutely. But if you hit people in cars, you can kill them and do serious damage. If you make a mistake on a motorcycle, it's going to be you mostly that's injured and not other people. Now, you might inconvenience somebody. You might give them a shock or something. Like, say, for example, you were to go high speed into a car or something. I was watching a video. Somebody, I think, posted it in the Discord that showed a parked car that was waiting to make a left turn. They were in the left turn lane. And a motorcycle comes through at probably 100 miles per hour. It's just not even a big car. It's like a little hatchback or something. Now the bike and the rider goes into the car, right? It like into the hatch area of the car. But the people that are in the car, like the driver and the passenger, they get out and walk around like, what the hell just happened? And that bike was frickin' moving. Like it was just a frickin' blur. I mean, like it's extremely fast. And did it wreck the car up pretty badly? Yes, it did. But the people inside just, and I'm not saying that would happen in every case, because it's certainly possible for motorcycles to injure people, but the chances of it are so low just because of the difference in mass between the motorcycle. Even a motorcycle moving at a high rate of speed is not likely to injure or kill people in cars. In fact, if you look it up, and I invite each and every one of you that are interested in this subject to ask Google AI how many people in cars are killed or injured by speeding motorcyclists crashing into them, and it'll change the subject. The AI will, well, motorcycles, speeding motorcycles are very dangerous to all involved, especially the rider. But many people, much more riders are killed on motorcycles than in cars. It kind of goes off, and it traipses off into a completely different subject because it has no information. There are not even statistics that are even noted anywhere about how many motorcycles have killed people in cars. It's just not a thing. Has it happened? Yes. But it's such a low probability, such a low number that there's not even a category in the national statistics for it. So it's not a thing. I've seen accidents where bikes are running, and not running from the cops, I mean just moving, right? And then they hit a car, and the car kind of goes like that, like a little bump, and then the bike just flings off of it, and the people inside are like, what just happened? Like they can't even know what just happened. They don't even know. So, and now I'm not saying that's a license to just go and do whatever you want around cars. I'm not saying that, but I'm just saying the fact of the matter is that it's not even a statistic. What is a statistic is that motorcyclists are likely to be injured or killed many, 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 many times more than people in cars. Either related accidents or separate. But more people per year die in car accidents because the sheer number of cars that there are. And those typically are when other cars and trucks hit other cars and trucks. It's not when motorcycles hit cars or trucks. Just not a thing. And that's one of the reasons why some police departments choose that it's not worth it to go chasing after a freaking motorcycle, because that problem may solve itself. And quite often it does, because a lot of people who go fast don't really know what they're doing. They don't know what they're doing. They got more balls than skill, and they find themselves in a bad spot. So anyway, I want to thank each and every one of you for being here, but y'all keep posting interesting comments. As long as y'all are posting interesting comments, it's making it hard for me to get out of here. Stickman Modesto says, shoot, what about the other day on one of your videos when you were in the right lane and there was a mobile traffic sign parked in it and you came up on it pretty quick? And I was like, oh, shoot. Oh, no, that video was sped up. That section was put into fast forward mode. God, I hope that's understood. And then I slowed it down just for that maneuver around it. And then I sped it back up again just because that's not an interesting section of the video. And by speeding it up and doing that little trickery with the editing, makes it somewhat interesting. That's all. That's all that was, my man. I'm not going real fast in those sections. You want to know why? Because that's an elevated highway. And if somebody tries to come over, which they have done before, some people get mad and go, I'm going to stop this biker. And if you hit the diagonal, the side of a car on an elevated highway close to the wall, you'll bounce off the car and it'll project you right into the wall, and the bike will stop, but you'll go Superman right over the edge. So I try not to go real fast right there, because I don't want to fly without my bike. You know what I'm saying? So I don't go really fast, and I don't really lane split that fast either, because in most cases I don't. On occasion, I'll do something a little quicker than usual, but it's all risky anyway. It's not like it's low risk. It's all high risk, but um, my reflexes are pretty good, and my bike turns really fast. So, and my prediction game is pretty good. My ability to read traffic is pretty decent. So that affords me uh, some ability to do some stuff that I wouldn't recommend to other people, especially if you're not used to doing it. I This is my briar patch. This is my environment that I operate in, so I know it pretty well. Doesn't mean I can't make a mistake. You know, nobody is perfect, including me, especially me. So, anyway, I'm going to get out of here, folks. I've got to go. I have Elizabeth wonders, what's up? I want to be a passenger CTG. That would be fun. That would be fun. Anyway, I love you all. I'm going to get going. Thank you so much for being here. Let me finish by saying, if you enjoyed this live stream, thank you for enjoying it. I appreciate it. But the next live stream is going to be on my backup channel, which is called Crash Test Goat 2. Crash Test. I know it's such a creative name, right? This is Crash Test Goat. It's the main channel where I upload the videos. We're not going to do the live streams on the regular on this channel. This is kind of a special event. The live streams are on Crash Test Goat 2. So, and they're at 10 p.m. Central for 2 hours. 10 p.m. Central Standard Time, usually to midnight. Sometimes I start a little later depending upon when we start, but that's when they're scheduled. Monday through Friday, I take the weekends off. And if you're not subscribed to either one of the channels, please subscribe. And if you want goat merch, there is goat merch. It's at d29designs.com. D29, the numbers, designs.com. d29designs.com. They got mugs, stickers, hoodies, t-shirts, cool stuff. It's really, really high quality stuff. You will not be disappointed. And yeah, I appreciate it. So anyway, hopefully YouTube eventually removes the restrictions on my channel, and then we can take this operation to the next level. I am going to try to change up the content a little bit because it's just, we need to evolve. So anyway, I love you all. Thank you so much for being here, and I will see you in the next one.